Today we're looking at the most overrated motorcycles in all of human history. Okay, it's just our personal opinion, right, Logan?
Yeah, I mean, well, I've been alive for the entirety of human history, so I think if anybody can weigh in on the subject, it's probably me.
This guy is immortal. You thought he was 20-something? He's actually been around for forever. Let me explain how this is gonna work. We've got my list over here, Logan's list. We're gonna rank them from the least overrated to the most overrated, but then there's a twist. In the middle, Logan and I are gonna render a verdict on each other's choices and see if we actually agree on the ranking. Ready to get started?
Yep, let's get into it.
All right, Logan, for my first choice, my least overrated motorcycle, I'm going Honda CBR600RR. I hear all the time online, people are like, this is the screaming inline four, the Undertale exhaust, it's recently updated in Europe, and I feel like it's just a lot of Euro boys doing a lot of cope behavior, being like, oh my God, this bike's amazing. Let me tell you why this thing's overrated, okay? Yes, the chassis is pretty nice. It's got a dog of an engine. Literally every other 600 is faster than this thing. This bike, an average, parallel twin is gonna leave it off the line. And yes, you're gonna have your beautiful screaming inline four sound, but it's the weakest of the 600s. You know it's true. It's not doing a whole lot here in America, that's for damn sure. This thing has been unchanged since like 2009, charging crazy prices for this thing. I think the CBR600RR, very overrated, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree with that, right? Like, the inline 4 600 class is sort of already like an artifact of a bygone era, right? And then the CBR 600RR is like the most kind of outdated of the bunch, you know what I mean?
Except for the Gixxer 600, I think. Yeah, at least in Europe, the CBR is updated, which I'll give to you guys. But yeah, it's pretty long in the tooth.
Yeah.
Did you say I don't live in Europe?
I don't live in Europe. Look at my shirt, could you tell? And I think, but at least like the Gixxer 600, it's like, it's the Gixxer 600, right?
That's
like
true,
you know, anything that's Honda and like a little bit older, like they warrants too high of a price point just because it's a Honda. And yeah, it's hard to disagree with your least overrated.
Okay, so you agree?
I agree.
Okay,
so
wow.
Blue check.
The blue check, yep.
Hit it lefty.
Cool. Well, thank you. Agreeing, look at that. Nice. Let's see yours.
So you went with a bike that's maybe a little bit long in the tooth, and I went with a bike that was updated, maybe even updated to the point of now it's an irrelevant model. So Hypermotard V2.
Oh!
Because now it's got the same, the Ducati Hypermotard V2. And obviously Hypermotard, a famed Ducati model. There's been a bunch of them over the years, the 1100, now the new 698. And the new V2 uses the same V2 that's in the Panigale V2, the Street Fighter V2, the Monster. So it's like not that special anymore, and it's like $5,000 more expensive than even the brand new Street Fighter.
Is it really?
And it's like,
wow,
cool. It's like, 365 pounds or whatever, but it's like, it's kind of just a naked bike in supermoto cosplay.
Yeah.
It's not a true supermoto. All the supermoto bros will tell you that online, that the Hypermotard's not a true supermoto. And at what it costs and what other offerings you could get from Ducati that use the same engine and are maybe more balanced in different ways, I think it's kind of an overrated motorcycle.
It's hard for me to disagree with that too. The Ducatisti in me is screaming at you, being like, no, Ducati's overrated. So I think I have to go with my gut and tell you, no, this bike is not overrated. I'm sorry, it's a pretty sweet bike. But I will give it to you that Ducati does have now the Hypermotard Mono. I don't think the
698.
698 Mono, yeah. Look at that, I don't even know the bike models anymore. And so now I do think it's kind of weird to sell the V2 and position it as a Hypermotard and to have the Mono, because that was the whole thing. It's like, well, that's Ducati's only like supermoto. And I'm like, well, now they really make like a real supermoto. So I really don't get why this bike exists, other than a styling exercise, and like I get the lightweight thing, but yeah, I'd buy a Street Fighter V2 and save the $5,000 or whatever.
Right. Yeah, and I think if you want that Hypermotard thing, the 698 sort of accomplishes the task maybe a little bit more effectively. So,
yeah.
But I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Ducatisti.
I can't do it. No, Ducati's overrated. Bite me on it. Moving on. All right, Logan, my next overrated motorcycle. It's one that has a contingency online that never shuts up about it, thinks they made the most optimal decision, doesn't understand that it's a pig of a bike, and if they wrote anything else in the category, they would agree with me. It is the Z900.
Classic.
Gotta go with the Z900. The Z900, as you know, it is a very long in the tooth, very old school motorcycle. People often buy it simply bang for buck. And yeah, I get it. I think it's like under 10 grand now, or maybe right around there. You get like 120 something horsepower. The inline four scream. Maybe there's a bit of a trend here with the inline four bikes being overrated. But I really do think, back in the day, if you got an inline four, you got it because you wanted performance. We've really kind of, I mean, I don't want to say this, but moved on from the inline four, you know, like triples make great power now, parallel twins, V-twins, they all make great usable street power. And getting this motorcycle in its overweight package, in its Sugomi styling, which is not to my taste, is certainly, to me, one of the most overrated motorcycles. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree too. I think the Z900 is a you get what you pay for type of motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's, you know, pretty affordable, so it's gonna be compromised in a lot of ways. I'm not a big inline four guy. If I were to be interested in something like that, I think the Z900 RS is a more interesting package. Like you see that bike, the old school UJM style, you don't expect it to be super svelte, right? You can kind of give it these passes. And then again, the Sugomi styling is not to my taste either. I find it personally offensive to my taste. So I would agree the Z900, and I worked very hard to keep the Z900 off my list because I figured
it was a bit of a layup choice, I will say. Yeah, there was a couple others that I was like, all right, I'm not gonna go there, but yeah, it was hard not to do Z900.
Yeah, so
you agree with my verdict?
Yeah, I would agree.
Wow,
hit it lefty again.
You gotta disagree at some point with me, man. We'll see. We'll see if Logan's just a sycophant. You guys drop a comment down below. He's always just agreeing with me. He has his own opinion. Look at his shirt.
Yeah.
I let him wear this shirt. All right, moving on. What do you got next?
Move on. So my next second least overrated motorcycle. Hot take coming in, hot take. You're gonna light up the comment section with this one.
Oh no.
Honda Grom.
Honda Grom?
So, hear me out.
Why? Come on.
If you want a fun, low stakes, bop around town bike, get a scooter. Get a little Vespa. Obviously it's quite a bit more expensive. Get a Honda Ruckus, get a Yamaha Zuma. I think if you want something low stakes, bop around town, scooter's way cooler. If you want a stunt training tool, get a pit bike.
It's true. My buddy Jeremy, shout out to Jeremy, who is like a super hardcore stunt guy, can do crazy stuff on the bike. I bought the Grom, he's like, should've got a pit bike.
Yeah.
So,
and like I think Groms are obviously perfectly fine, lovable. Everybody loves a Grom, but I don't want to buy a Grom, right? I think there's like this like cult of the Grom, right? We've talked about it. It's got this like cult classic thing. Like people love it even though they don't really know why they love it. It has massive impact on American motorcycles despite it being a little 125. I just think, if I'm looking for something low stakes around town, I'm gonna get a pass-through scooter. If I want to learn stunts, I'm gonna get a pit bike. So
that makes sense. We'll put the Grom up there, number 4. And let me think on this, on my verdict. You know, I understand what you're saying, actually, where a Grom is almost like you didn't go far enough. Like, if you did want a bop around bike, a scooter really is the best choice. Like, it actually is. Like, you just step through, you can carry groceries, it's low stakes, twist and go. Like, when I ride a scooter, I want to go half helmet, cup in hand, and just cruise. You know, I love it, right? And then, to your point, stunt training. I mean, I did that a little bit with the Grom I bought, and then, my buddy Jeremy was like, you should have bought like a CRF50. Like, a pit bike actually is really a better tool for that too. So as much as it pains me, I think I do have to agree. The Grom might be a little overrated.
They're overpriced for sure.
They are definitely overpriced. Honda's cleaning up shop. Man, they're making money hand over fist with that thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it probably cost them like $600 to build that.
Right.
Moving on. I promise not all of these, Logan, are just like completely predictable. Okay. This one is a little bit. Sure. Another bike with a cult following, another die-hard motorcycle that has been around for a very long time, many iterations. I simply do not understand why, but I'm gonna put it up here. R1300 GS. The GS. Yeah, the GS to me, massively overrated. I do not understand the cult of the GS, and I've seen your comments. I've made the whole video on it. I rendered my opinion that I think it's like a weird heritage product that got evolved way past its prime. I don't think it does anything that great. It doesn't go off-road that well. On-road, it's got the most milquetoast, boring sound. The engine is incredibly, I don't get it, and I think they're massively overrated. Yeah. So what do you think?
I mean, I knew this was coming, you know. I think a $30,000 plus brand new top spec, definitely overrated.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of its heritage and some older models, I think they had their place in the segment, you know what I mean? Like if someone I knew that rode motorcycles like told me they bought something, like a friend I was really comfortable with, I think would I kind of like interrogate that decision, right? And if it came to buying a brand new GS, I would probably have to say, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, older ones I think are a little more excusable and cool. And they've become cool, right? I do think some of the old what do they call them? Airheads, air-cooled, whatever. They have a certain styling. They're very unique and quirky and different. I just feel like the new ones have been polished so much that you're kind of like, well, what's the point? There's, I think, better tools for the job. There's bikes that go long distance better. There's bikes that go off-road better. I mean, the guys that ride these off-road, they're so insufferable. I'm sorry, but you really are, and you have to admit that you are a little bit. So do you kind of like half agree with the verdict?
I half agree. I see where you're coming from, and I can understand it, but I think the whole umbrella GS family isn't necessarily overrated.
To my credit, I did say 1300
I know, so
GS.
I'm gonna X you.
Oh man, all right, that's fine.
Because even just what people pay for these things, triple black edition.
Yeah,
triple black.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's got 3 times the black. I'm not paying 35 grand for it.
DJI has partnered with us to bring the new Osmo 360 into the Yamminu production lineup, and I have to say, it's been a game changer. Setup is basically instant, and the footage looks incredible. You're getting 8K resolution, outstanding clarity even in low light, and all of it comes from the industry's first square image sensor on a 360 camera. For riders, it's a perfect tool. Whether you want a clean helmet mount for motovlogging or a discreet, lightweight setup on the bike itself, the Osmo 360 delivers a wide dynamic view without being a hassle to carry. And the best part is how smoothly it integrates into DJI's whole ecosystem. I've been running the Mic Mini with it, and the audio has been flawless. No spaghetti of wires or weird connections to worry about. Between the 8K capture, 100-minute recording time, internal memory, and easy mounting options, this really is the full package for anyone looking to step into 360 filming. Hit the link in the description to grab yours and pick up a DJI Osmo 360 today.
Okay, so again, another sort of cult classic motorcycle, a bike people talk about all the time, and that's going to be the DRZ 400 and DRZ 4. I'm including both of them. They're both overrated for different reasons.
Okay, explain.
DRZ 400, sure, utilitarian, like end of the world bike you can have forever, but not that exciting, not that interesting, very rudimentary and old. It was way overpriced, brand new for the last 10 years.
Now it's really overpriced.
Yeah, and then the new one is super overpriced with the exact same like engine architecture as the original. They just like tweaked it a little bit, added EFI, unnecessary ride modes. But people love this bike. Even the new one, people have been kind of singing its praises, ignoring the price point.
Yeah.
And I just think they're overrated. It's not a bad bike, but I think it's overrated. I'm sick of hearing about it all the time.
I think the tagline, singing its praises, ignoring the pricing, could be Suzuki's new thing. Because like you guys that love Suzukis out there, the mental gymnastics blow my mind. Yeah, this bike is like 90 something, it's like $9,600 or something, right?
Yeah, for the new one, yeah.
That's crazy. Out the door, 10,000 plus for a DRZ. And to Logan's point, I think you could just you could buy one of these used, but the function would be the same thing. But I agree, these are, it's funny, I've seen a lot of hardcore off-road guys talk about how these are massively overrated. They're kind of okay, it's 100 pounds heavier than it should be. It doesn't make much torque and power. I think these are interesting as a kind of very lightweight adventure build you could kind of get, but then KTM 690 products are so much better. I know what you're saying, but those blow up and do stuff, but ride the KTM stuff, dude. It really is a lot nicer. I think I have to agree with your overrating on the DRZ, because people really do, they are such evangelists for the DRZ, man. They go nuts over those things. They really do.
I mean, if it was 2005 and the DRZ SM trim was a couple years old, I could see wow, this is so sick. But it's that was 20 years ago. Yeah. I'm stop talking about it.
I agree. Overrated. Moving on. All right, this next one. People probably don't think I'm gonna put this one up here because people have this perception of me as a Yamaha stan. They think of me as anything they do I think is great, but I actually think that the Yamaha R7 is really overrated. Every starter squid on Instagram gets one, and the only reason they do is because it has R-bike styling and they could get approved for the loan because it's a relatively cheap price. They recently updated this bike. It now has a little new TFT display and a 6-axis IMU, all this stuff. I hate to sound like this person because I used to make fun of this person back in the day, but I'm this is not really a substitute for an R6. It's not really a substitute for proper super sport. This is certainly baby's first motocycle. I just think so many people think this bike is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I've ridden the RS660, I've ridden some of the new next generation super sport packages, and The R7, particularly before they did some of these improvements, I'm like, this budget as hell. Like the LCD screen sucks. Like the look out of the cockpit like feels really chintzy and cheap. And like all Yamaha really did was like, you know, they tweaked the rake a little bit, put inverted forks. Like it works, you know, but it's not, I don't know, it's not the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? Yeah. I think it's overrated.
So I think it's interesting, like the R7 was a more compelling package before the MT-07 got updated.
Right.
Right, because it was like, okay, I want that CP2 engine in like a road going bike that isn't gonna kill me mid-corner from like spongy, you know, suspension or whatever. But since the MT-07 is updated now, and there are other more interesting, like kind of twins cup bikes like the RS660, the R7 is just like a weird, overpriced, like overbuilt MT-07 that isn't really serving that specific of a purpose anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, that's my number 2 also.
Oh, is it? Well, go ahead and put it up. We'll just talk about it real quick. That's funny. Yeah, I think the R7, when it came out and debuted, I think it came out the year after the RS660, and then it had like, both of them were in the market, and it was kind of like, okay, the R7 is the budget choice, the 660 is the cool, like Italian choice or whatever. But yeah, I hadn't thought about that, where like the MT-07 is so good now. It handles really well, it's so well sorted. I mean, unless you're gonna go do track days all the time, the R7 doesn't really make a lot of sense, you know? And a lot of these guys buying R7s are certainly not doing track days all the time.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. But tell me your reasons why it was a little overrated.
Yeah, it was just essentially what I said about it being a more sporty alternative to the MT-07 when the MT-07 was really, really like cheap feeling and compromised in its suspension and braking. And then just now, especially since the update, the R7's pushing nearly $10,000, and it's like, save up for another couple months and get an RS660 and get way more motorcycle. That's
like, I cannot stress to you, way more motorcycle. The new RS660 makes 30 more horsepower than the R7. It makes 105 horsepower. Has aluminum twin spar frame. Like, you just, come on. Let's be so for real. Let's be so for real. R7, you know, you can love it, you can hate it, but I think we can all agree it's overrated. And I guess this is, we both agree. Wow, same spot, same thing. Let's see if number 1's the same. Okay, my most overrated motorcycle. Drum roll, please. The KLR650. The KLR650 to me is so ridiculously overrated. What other motorcycle do you buy and you immediately have to modify so that it runs correctly or doesn't blow up or whatever? Kawasaki recently made a new version of this and they didn't fix, they called them the dumbest things, like the doohickey, the thermo bob. I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. Like, if I'm buying a brand new motorcycle, it should just work. Like, this is like, you know, Italian motorcycle ownership applied to a Japanese bike that should just be bulletproof. It also has heinously bad performance. It heinously awful on-road and off-road performance. Go ahead and fight me in the comments. Tell me a KLR handles well on-road or off-road in stock configuration.
Does it weigh like 500 pounds?
It weighs like 480 pounds. It's not even like, you know, like Honda's got the XR650. That's like a 360 pound dual sport, you know? Like the KLR is, I don't even know how they made it so heavy. I guess because it's using 1980s technology that's been ever so slightly updated. I think KLR ownership is insane, and it is easily, to me, the most overrated motorcycle right now. Easily. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I agree. I intentionally left it off, similar to the Z900.
Oh, okay.
Thinking you would probably include it. It's lame to say, like, there's nothing cool about it. There's nothing like romantic about it. There's nothing dramatic about it. It's like as utilitarian as it gets, but in like a way that's so played out. And there's so many other cool, exciting utilitarian, like adventure-y bikes now. It's like the KLR serves like zero purpose.
Like a Tenere 700.
Yeah.
Which I think is within striking distance of the KLR. No, the KLR is like super cheap. It's like $7,000 or whatever. But yeah, like get a T7. It weighs the same and has an extra cylinder and makes like 40 more horsepower or whatever. Yeah, KLR's just awful. Awful overrated machine. Yeah. Sorry to anyone who owns it. But yeah, like to your point, I think it's like it's a bike you buy as a tool. Like you're like, I'm gonna do Alaska to Patagonia. Yeah, get a KLR because you need something that's just gonna make it there, right? But if you're not doing something that adventurous or crazy that you need to like be able to repair your bike on the side of the road with like, you know, a stalk of corn and like some, you know, like tool you found on the side of the road, please buy something else. Yeah, please.
Like people who own KLRs are like the ones that brag about how it can run on 87 octane. Like,
it's like, but you can just buy 93. Yeah. It's available.
Yeah. You know? But if I'm out, you know, wherever, I can just put 87 in it.
Yeah. So I guess you agree?
Yeah, sorry.
All right. Got 4 out of 5 that you agree with.
Yeah.
All right. What's your most overrated motorcycle? I'll close my eyes. I'll do a drum roll.
So I've just been really eager to hurt feelings, punch down, cyberbully people. So my number 1 most overrated motorcycle is the SV650.
Oh, come on.
So again, this requires some explanation, but it's like the short version, the TLDR. Any SV650 that's reasonably new within the last 4 or 5 years is way overpriced because they were selling them way overpriced for so long. And any affordably priced SV650 is a completely clapped piece of crap. So yeah, I don't know why you would spend, $5,500 on a 2018 Suzuki SV650 with 15,000 miles on it when you could theoretically save another $1,500 and get something of this generation, whether it be an MT-07 or even the new Hornet 750. It's like, I would rather not have a motorcycle for 6 months, saving for something better, and have a brand new or very, very lightly used CB750 Hornet versus a 7-8-year-old SV650 that I got for $1,000 cheaper or $2,000 cheaper. That just doesn't compute to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you that I think 10 years ago, the SV650 was a great choice and it was solid because there was nothing really like it. Not even 10 years ago, 15 years ago now, because the MT-07's been out for a while. But now, as you're saying, and I really agree, it's the Hornet's out, the MT-07's out, these are all updated, more modern. The SV650, I think it just, I don't know how Suzuki has done this, but they just have this hold over motorcyclists' minds where it's oh, but that bike's bulletproof, it'll run forever, it's a Suzuki. But yeah, you don't want some 15,000 mile clapped Suzuki SV650. You can buy a new Hornet and have something nice and reliable and working well.
Right.
And I really agree with you with the market for sub $4,000 SV650s is just horrendous.
Yeah,
it is horrendous. These bikes are clapped to death. And it's just literally just save $500 more dollars. Just I don't care how long it takes. If it takes 6 months for you to get that extra $500, it is worth it. These old SVs are so clapped, dude. You do not want to buy those things.
Yeah, and because that's not to say the SV is not a historically significant bike
or
even a great bike for what it is. Not at all saying that. But yeah, in 2026, it's hard to justify getting one. And I remember not that long ago, we did an SV650, it came from Facebook special. And I looked all over the country, every major metropolitan area. And it was bleak. They were super overpriced, modded to, it's SV650 track build, $7,000. And I'm okay, it's got levers and different rear sets on it, cool. Or it's really scary, $2,500. Or the pictures look like snuff photo, they're blurring in a basement somewhere.
Just scary.
And I'm okay, is this SV650 being held hostage or something? So that's my take on why I think the SV650 is overrated.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, honestly. In 2026, again, if we were time travelers, for Suzuki ownership, it seems like you got to be a time traveler. You mentioned the DRZ, you got to go back to 2005. I think the SV650, you got to go back to 2014. Just in 26, man, I don't know. I think the SV, is pretty overrated too. But of course, what do you guys think? What motorcycle didn't land on today's video that you think is overrated? Do you agree or disagree with our rankings? Let us know in the comments down below. We truly appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching from yours truly, the Beavis and Butthead of motorcycling whiteboard YouTube. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.